Well, good afternoon, Brown Original Television. We did have to see Sabia as many the hot situation and I will share and then a more than day in I will more a bad view of the mainstream politics kakra. Na share Ghana, agencies are who draw. Yes, just say Ghana for the draw na any momojuma potting or more near the lenses and no atom so near share Obekaya and Chebia near call a Ghana Museum. And they have a PMO or Ghana Library Authority. It's no, and they show me to depa or mudi or memo. Now, ya share your libraries and what are the states of our libraries? Or mine Ghana more, call mandates anything. I bear for memoir say away our banks or no, they are bear for council now or fire BBN or my to me I incorporating into your library system now. I ain't try on your bar. Many paying power that Ghana Library Authority the actual or none of guests or the hot seats. That's it. So I try and I will be such the hot seats our original television every Sunday 3 to 4 p.m. Yene empaying for akukudama omunimote efa almost sector omo eno etnasi edin kita ho enye me be yente ase ne yekoso Ghana yente ase no ye no ehia impunimpu ni ade nchemu e de from na wotri de ye home kakra efim ye mainstream politics and ye share the states of Ghana Library no ya be piemu ewo Ghana Library na Ghana Library Authority no mo chief executive officer enemy guests ewo the hot seat ene Kwesi Adawe Ora Hayford Siao chief executive officer that's a CEO at the Ghana Library Authority first na Ghana Library Board and then necessary abe Ghana Library Authority authority na be shemo no necessary ben and abem ene ebedini one thing is that I am very young man I'm happy see a call state institutions be who young people I say institutions be work on me wan ko no draw so they say so they are be for kwa unya mranti no ma Kenya ni me na man put you na ko ni ko young people say that many agents no is let me name so you very young say but me who no e be when you share this I say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
But thank you very much for your time.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
When you are say
Menyini pa menya kwada.
Anyway, yeah, that's so what you pin said there. My kwan see e mehwe Ghana Library Authority Jumedia Mudi e de boa e wo odan mu. Ma me fan to just Ghana Library Authority no almost a Ministry of Education ase Ghana so there o man bia no almost school na say education is very essential. The man of men being no almost a Ghana Ministry of Education. I say so. Director, you share Ghana Library Authority. So it was Ghana Library Board. Now more about Ghana Library Authority. As I know, what prompted it?
As society, it's just in the name because on Ghana Library as an institution, it has its own management and running staff. Anana your friend a board and sa mra nti mra na a library authority no kire say it is an entity on its own nti o ndimi nga say board no say you got say institution be a board and not just board na run day-to-day activity but in current dispensation of corporate governance the management of the board itself, the governing board is different from the management of the institution nti na yes, we agency in a sanity, your governing board, and then we have also the management. And so now your free institution on Ghana Library Board. And Tina, nim for etnas no who's no or say separate the entity itself, or the management of the entity itself from the governing board. And Tina change in just change of name.
Right. Please help me out here. More core mandate in the sense, some people say this libraries across the country.
Your core mandate, you take it from Act 3 to 7 of the 1970. And Mbranimu Chrese, ye establish it, near equip, near maintain, near manage public libraries, emphasis on public libraries. Ewo Ghana ha. And the kasa public libraries and so na public libraries here library aban edenisika urem ati and your friend public library, which means that it's been funded by the taxpayer. But here nyina nso ye nimze ye ntimi nya resources to establish all libraries, and usually ye ne other enwumaku nso ye den etimi kambom ne ya establish a library. MPs bitimi de common fund normal si library amaye ebi o nso a NGOs nso timi etibi and so amaye inti normal hand over so that we can manage, and because we will see we are or say, oh, I'm handing over to the state. And when build we now hand over to the state there, then the right institution established by law is the Ghana Library Authority.
I see. Into the state of so far, how many libraries there are? I learned it's about 73 plus across the country.
Well, as at 2017, now libraries are all Ghana high 61 per.
61.
Yes, but for over the last 4.5 years, yeah, the 51 na account. Say we are managing 112 libraries. I'm say and then MTN eco see the 112 one my danger boaben so my eco commission here. Nti say you manage 112 libraries in the country.
In the country. Because the states need to say, are they really equipped to open modern standard library? Because any of our public libraries now, I standard.
Before 2017, they na make catch us libraries in the Negu. But on your man penny or tissue or buy or the education scene, and it's so say obit me about my education, nipa be bring access to it. Into one of the areas I was focusing on in being able to advance access and also quality. And I won't mean quality education without talking about the content or the learning resources that has to be made available to nipa ombe yusu ombeko school and also ombe yusu public libraries. And one of the areas that time na Dr. Martin Puk Prempeh, the Minister of Education, or the omdisi many so pass on betimi aboy is to how we can revamp all the public libraries in the country. Into that time 61 libraries, so that time former minister no to me boam yet me renovate about 50 of them. Yeah, by now my iska private sector players and so at MPC as district assemblies yet me renovate about 50 of them. And I heard expansion in terms of footprint na nyina eka ho boa. And the bema library bia so aye library books ewo. And to bigger just said the state of libraries na na to say you say okay more books na. O 1981 na Ghana your libraries all Ghana had 36. So 36 libraries. And the books are shelves so 1,049,000. And so fast forward to 2016, now your books in the Swatiam in 400,000, but it was just around 300,000. It would mean say not technically speaking, to say the work and not just she need library spaces, in terms of the fact that from 36 now increasing it to 61, but near books not drop into be out then a and I'll be a library who's a library, one, you are not conduciveness of the environment, and you're very attractive. And two books in also shelves so also matter to current demands of young people or the users of public libraries. And so over the period, this is here I mean yet to me increasing the books and a number of around 300,000 to now about 1.3 million books on the shelves of public libraries today in the country. It means that you had books for I established different partnerships at Miabua. The resources about library. Accra Central High because first na high marketplace. Obeba na commissioner for out for agent high nyina fa na man for bonyum na high nyina dane to say akamakwala ho literally. And so nyame you can see the conducive environment as Ambre operating. Nti nyina interventions aban no etimi the public library space na Ubeka say so what has been the result of some of these interventions, on the libraries, or why they count to say yes success was how people use it, the frequency at which people use it. Again, before 2017, none pay useful libraries or Ghana just around 400,000 people were using public libraries in Ghana. This is annually, you record 1.4 million visitors at our various libraries across the country, which means because of the expanded accessibility, Now you increase the number of stock or resources on the public libraries. Now you renovate existing libraries in it. Now people are finding it attractive to be able to come and use the public. And I hear so most platform or more to make and commodity for libraries because maybe enough people amount for against a library create any and so they say, you know, people have become aware, say, you know, libraries, you know, functional, as they say, social media. We are one of the agencies which has the largest following on social media, which means that yetimi are promoting a Jumana amount for aware, and that is why who say people are patronizing your libraries across the country.
In any of all the regions, no more library one. As some of the regions where munya NC library.
16 regions in your library, so
I see. Na nina so na working. Wetimiama.
Yetimiama books akoho. The baby was a renovation, so yeah. Baby so was a ye sidana ye nsi so ye guso. Maybe also some catchers say you renovate library, but there are some libraries so what's here renovate. A typical example, Hohoi Library, Takwa Library. These are libraries I was say you renovate. Now you create a more conducive environment. You go so yeah.
One of our major issues is maintenance. I mean, how are you managing the maintenance of our libraries?
To say they are buying and maintaining schools across the country. One of the educational establishments. Are buying a budget that will release my see a bit in the year, and where be na the maintain your electricity bill, your water bill, and where be na and to say a buying institution be said the almost see a managing a funnel. And one year so you first to manage it. But one of the good thing about us is that yes, I leverage on corporate partnerships. And Chebia what to say a new month I call partnership over 3-year period. Or mobile stock your library, your maintenance, my United Way, the same, your new Book Aid International, you know, the same, your new UNICEF via partnership or my I renovate some of our library spaces for us. And it is our partnerships and also your leverage on, you know, to be able to always keep making our library spaces attractive and also run programs that attract people to use the libraries.
So this authority I always see what are because what can never be promoted, but what are people who pen a pinpoint to say this is it. This is what we targeted to do, and that's at now. And then many would say 2022. I guess
so I buy way by so 2018 yeah the BB by a friend education strategic plan. And the agencies Ministry of Education you take your policy direction from the education strategic plan because I know a cabinet approval. And to take that education strategic plan now where also institution you tease out and create your own strategic plan. And the governing board Dr. Helena Hassan Asamoah or Dano where policy then we created a strategic plan. And the strategic plan, one of the key areas in say me can't sure say 61 libraries. 61 libraries and yet enough. Even in Finland, our population is 6 million, our libraries are managing over 700. And we look at the policy direction now. We are supposed to have about 540 libraries being managed by the Library Authority by 2030. Now over 61 and not just do baby. Say yet me advancing. You drew 112. Indeed, this is quite a significant achievement. Because there is
within which period?
Within the past 4.5 years. Yes. Which means that there is no period in the history of this country. And this Library Authority is the second oldest public institution established by law. Within the past 72 years, there is no period, a short period. So I say, I buy 6 years. Now you did 51 public libraries. I say, you're managing 61, you're inheriting, which is a significant achievement. And I may catch you say, now your libraries are very attractive. Right. And one of the policy directions is create conducive environment so that you can attract all age groups to be able to use your libraries. And to make sure, since you renovate about 50 of the libraries, 61 libraries now you're inheriting, which is also a very significant thing to be able to do. Because a library, there no any books, only books are only library. And me catch you 1981, no books will cry, your shelves is over 1,049,000. 1981. Tama libraries they could do 61. Now your books are shelves so crap. A new 400,000. It was around 300,000. Say we are around 1.3 million books on the shelves of public libraries. This is quite significant, over 200-300% increase in terms of book stock on the shelf of public library. Institution biano, yeah, intimi ma kwanya ma intimi recruit nipa ma omo me adwuma na enye den enkoso. Sisi by over 150 people have been recruited to work at the Ghana Library Authority within the past few years baso, which is also quite significant. Because abefo normal abey then a Ghana Library and so yeah. For the first time for a public library in West Africa, Hanum, you create a digital library app. Into call so you saw iPhone and I say Android nibia. Baby I could be I say Play Store, App Store. Call no ma ubeti me download the app no. Your books be go. Yeah, COVID by and cry. I bind the video tutorials a Ghana Education Service and send loss a developing na the go app on so. Now the good thing is that app on society free.
Free.
Empty a crown charge.
And I'm because the more the app can do
it. We don't try. And you see the good thing about your app is say data crown or telcos no someone tell. Into almost 0 app no. Which means that as a Ghanaian out Ghana high within our territory, we betimia a browse where ready or to tromo to bass more baby you can have access to our content at me radio, which is quite significant even on the continent of Africa in terms of how a public library is making resources available to learners. Yeah, by 1950s and 60s in Ghana Library running mobile library vans. 2007 President Kufuor time in UNESCO a 10 mobile library vans. I buy way by an advance in access say ya ne sisi honoma ain't mean fan ko baby ain't mean ye adwuma for books ngumo nko grassing man kra benefit. Ye buy yetimi aboa ma ya restore all the buses back on the road. Ya sisi anyame adaroma last year kra United Nations recognize for how innovative we've been able to use the mobile library service to promote
mobile library service. No part to say. I mean, more they call in crossing then what?
A van. A van, a shelves room, and yet the books are good. Now you really any Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communication, so MI computers, and yet the go van. And the quite a static library space is our library, how bones a books or bones a computers or the same setup near creative of van. Said the bear, may they call a Crabiasia, meaning zoning bumpy so was a honoma. What the co-hosts here now, beat me, my inquiry when you as my benefit to say the static library now. Into your cool school, that's a school no, we are much ICT, but school be brain no more computer da. Into yet me a computers no, a free van, near the ICT teachers, no, the actual crana dear. No more so more reading now, no more so a book, no more so I can kind. Into ye kill it, more kind of saying. Killing two birds with one stone. Sana Jumedi no yedinifa. Inti van also back on the road, which is really impactful. Yeah, just for a very long time you deny a lot of Ghanaian children this opportunity. Say Library Authority and abua amasa opportunity na then aba. Ye free BB international standard book numbers, which is ISO certification for more publishing books. Since 1980, ye issue that certification in Ghana for more publishing books now. First, and so na Vrungo or Pagana so percent or Nyasa number ni be publishers just all back ha and Rabinya. See, so bit me at na or demo baby biara na Vrungo baby I will be a no work online, no apply, no submit or manuscript near review near issue ISBN amount. And see, these are some of the things I hear in terms of the delivery of our services. Yeah, it's me buama one. Or more money daily in terms of business, ISBN for convenient environment, less costly operational costs for them, and almost money interface in terms of using our library spaces, say books, some use computers, make available computers, a library need be crowd Wi-Fi or normal with me call while logging in what use. We've created all of this. Am I crowd as a Commonwealth of Learning or more basic Canada. Ghana is a member. Na Ghana first ni mpia reduce into no more and so tama abai na abai let me abwa amomatia. I must say yes, so Ghana you benefited from Commonwealth of Learning or more interventions. One of them is promoting of massive open online course platforms. It's me connecting people to take up remote courses online. Since the Ghana Library Authority since 2012 2020, yetimi aboa over 43,000 people have benefited from taking remote courses. Courses be to say user experience design, data analytics, project management, and a host of others. Yeah, yetimi aboa ama for bebre
at a moderate fee, and I say
at no cost to the citizens of Ghana. Because though we call as individual now call online platform, so I'll be cheer. But if you come through us, Commonwealth of Learning will give you the scholarship to study on them.
So at the comfort of my home, I apply. What are the processes you take my application through before I let
you open every period be a cohort be or be a cohort be a commission your open is 10,000 it mean over 40,000 into you sort out one the age range of the people or my your or more you're employed or more you're unemployed. We put premium on unemployed people because we need them to get new skill and get new job opportunity. You sort out in area, then we send a list to Commonwealth. So we more and you shortlist you, then they invite them. Into a invite to a more period, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks for you to accept to enroll. Into do no one accept, no one enroll, then we take you off and bring another group of people. Into that's what we've been doing at least for since 2020.
I hope the processes are fair.
Oh, it's very fair. I mean, of course, me, yeah, hoarding fine and we have such a huge number of people to impact into that opportunities there. Besides even that, cry yes, our another opportunity, which no Absa Bank for the create that platform on the brain and say Mwana Ghana for course on Sunkusia idea. And no more of our courses on money skills, how to manage money, people skills, how to manage people, and entrepreneurship skills and so on. Yeah, no so almost platform normal create here. Only now call library.gov.gh. You mass synopsis of your information on all of these courses. When you could read here, then you enroll. Anytime you can enroll on some of these certificated courses.
I hope so. I mean, when I mean someone I hope whoever is watching to get
you see, me that's a possible reason that issue. Maybe me can say Ghana high one of the countries are underutilize the network of public libraries in Ghana. Where to know more to Ghana no. Omuche mra at the establish a cocoa board no. The next institution establish a Ghana library board them. And the into establishing is you see libraries are universal social spaces are Obia can come there to be able to learn something. We're at Accra Central ha. You see the location here is commercial center. It is our library way. It was set up as a commercial library to support the business community of Accra. Into open business reports, business intelligence information, open jobs, open so with any of the companies around. Hani security. So libraries are information centers. Na Ghana hana unfortunately ya ese library ni enkwala na eko hakusua kenkan. But oko Toronto for example, almost public libraries no almost a chirem for how on file on taxes. Because the people at our library spaces are information professionals. And the obi episode filing the taxes or call library on so being a library I'm an assistant I'm an filing the taxes. Oko Cologne public libraries or much sewing or much piano because on say it's also part of experiential learning. Books no but you be an okay book or tiase. And there's something you be able to if you know what book no issue or some project manager. But some people they need also physical interaction. Some people they need the experiential part or practice part to be able to learn something. Bebre library be omo kire how you know aduane ho just no more be to make also our library spaces nansen and who say trade ministry any other agencies be establishing business advisory support across the country. You can easily leverage on your public libraries across the country to be able to do that. You don't need to build new centers because the libraries they are for the community people. So if you have business information that can impact and benefit industry, curate them at the public libraries, train the librarians so that they can make that information available to the citizens of the country.
Because the next question was, how are you collaborating with other state institutions? giving them support because we be a ministry be say na mo hobi bi wo ha mo betimi abotanya wo ken.
Yes, because also British Library, they have an IP, intellectual property unit. Yes, support of businesses, startups, or more creative spaces for people to even go and sit there and work. So they have this co-working spaces at the various libraries. Now, Yekan State Institution is one of the things I hear to me a year power, which is quite significant. And your collaboration with the Youth Employment Agency, your Neoma Carbon, because your UNICEF a Carbon, your project be a friend youth engagement centers. And so youth engagement centers, your focus area, one of them is how do you link Ghanaian citizens to entrepreneurship skills? How do you link Ghanaians to also advocacy skills? How do you empower them with information so that they can advocate for what is rightfully theirs and also ask for what is rightfully theirs? And under the entrepreneurship course model, Youth Employment Agency Akabum, across the country, young people come to the library spaces. We have resource people that helps them, take them through some course models on entrepreneurship. We also your books or your resource materials or just to support you. Yeah, the GRA for bus spaces, almost have a how bit me file or taxes. Yeah, the Register General for about how bit me on how you can register your business. These are the things that libraries across the world are doing in response to their community needs. Because say na your Ghana no, amount for aswaya pejuma. And as a library, once you are serving, of course, the learning student population, your adult population that are out there, because your adult library spaces, what responsive interventions or learning resources are we making available? And based on our research, these are the things that the people need, and that is why we are responding to them in that direction.
All right. It's also actually the hot seat or original television, so and that's not me can view of mainstream politics kakra. And then you Ghana Library Authority, Jumedi Omudi. I mean, it's an eye opener for me today because and there may be a CEO ne Kano. If indeed it's true, also Ghana CEO for so I know probably say or journalism school. International did
why confused?
It's I'm hoping so whatever he's telling us, it's exactly what they are doing. Yeah, so any Eddie or much a new thing it's a record break. Yeah, but we are do record library one so about national library, right? It's we a bit travel now wash near Shastana or states it's a very quick break here bar. You be son say also nan say so just say Ghana and Kola me na Kola ni wunya me pay say omo foundation is stronger omunia building no edge than difficult. It's Ghana Kola between 7 and 14. But to just say, uyin kola 5 back and it's me in your foundational reading. It is a kola age brackets no, a day no more at their form or money a dash no, a day no more at their form. What are the innovative ways and the creative ways are or your modern trick and kola basic school for no, and what to me instilling in them the habits of reading, the breaking by a bar. Any CEO of Ghana Library Authority, Egusoidin Kitahon, or the hot seats. Thank you very much, Sir Ugusafre, the hot seat. If you day with TV na to her, me did yakosia sabia sumene. The hot seat jumede and I will share every Sunday 3 to 4 p.m. The jumede April. And most of the time, so you engage political figures. Na ya share and some summer echo will mind Ghana. So now say any production team decided say will more be share agencies who draw na yen share dan see or monkano will mainstream. They be say that come ho. Ni more special coverage. Ni show mutu metie no ni omudi e de boa oman Ghana ewo eye Ghana ha say ene ya be pie mo Ghana Library Authority ye ni omo edin kita ho ni ahwe Ghana Library Authority kwadwumedie ben e na omudi bebre ne nim say omo si library dan ni so no mo pe books ba ko mienu bi egugu mu a na eno ano be na first no be na nkonwa no kra no sebe e na say woso kakrenti no attract us a library but and see you say no my library no me feel cram ya na say me person me call library ho ye wi be call library ho ya ba national library wa ha say nti ye before program be end no ye be kwa kotwa na ye de achro nti na no me ne CEO e de Ghana Library Authority ora Hayford Sian e na edi nkita ho ne kasem no me hu say because of me hu ni say on sheda onya akokra nti no as innovations no modern current modern current into no resonate with the youth any into your so man paying say ya na agency this awodo no you for young people no enkwanya mema nko ye we ma wa ha ya no atekra che Mr. Sian into man no so ohu ye mobo na on fire to other agencies na no ye ma oman Ghana enkoso Mr. So Bibeka said so I mean fantastic improvements your library system and as a library agency when adena say yentemonken
oh yeah
na moye na bebre entemonken
oh yeah oh I mean we nyamiada roma I think say Mwankasamo station metro ne original ma cover programs bebre other stations
nje ya mo collaborate you edu baby asamo nya media we ya mo frɛ yan first ma mo nka se bi mo wo ya no no mo na de bia na mo frɛ from no
edi ye mu dinkita ho na sit down say na menya opportunity on your platform to be able to do that nti you know madam was say other platforms or mo my opportunity to be able to articulate our views on say adwuma no enya kra nkwa at the regional level and so your regional directors and so have been making a lot of have been creating a lot of awareness because you serve directly the public into say yan kan ya asema obi hu an wa ba be patronize it obi enu awakọ library akonya certificate it is voluntary space awan offer ohun wakọ no akosua this but if so obi nim say that spaces exist the bia make say nipa bebree distance learning but ye nyina nipa sen na wo private study areas at their various homes okay say bia your master's program and even first degree the bia person ko group studies kra munya ba bi nkosua de but the library spaces are there but people don't know and so we are not able to optimize its use in this our platform say boa meet minya kwanya ma yakeka sansem nyina mama mfo hu se obetimi akọ library spaces ibi no matimi akọ
yakọ amojiska
no you can always go to any of the public libraries enter sit down learn and go away you only pay your membership when you want to be able to borrow books away so person offer book na the coffee dia there's a risk and we need to mitigate that risk by a fee and your membership fee nanka.
Oh, okay. So I have to become a member.
Yes, to be able to borrow book out.
Okay.
But opesa wo betina house ekenkan ya wa de for books usua dia eno de unti ahwe. A service that are buying and a fa ho kanyina.
So back to me my break na make say you share I mean there's this research abeto dra HSA wo share uba Ghana ha wo share enkola between the ages of 7 to 14 na we 5 back and also foundational reading skills and ability so then creative and as innovative way be na me draw this children we because some no foundation we to me at the beginning na na eboa
say na mesel you so platform ya church mu libraries ya nchirade libraries ya boa make sure say materials are available and we are able to get the people who are supposed to be able to teach the reading do it well. In Ghana, no Ministry of Education, in Ghana, Ghana Education Service, and the complementary education agency, extra for people to be able to learn to read and write. We are now at least we are ready for kindergarten. I was so called through the GES system. And as a one parents or more to another format. But the rule is that you bet me provide the schools with the right materials. Yes, I provided the public with the right materials so that parents can come and borrow the supporting resources to be able to help the children. It is a systemic issue. When you want to do an intervention, make sure say the agencies that are mandated to do that are equipped to be able to do that. We call complementary education agency affairs near from non-formal. Almost no out of school phone. Almost on metro in terms of literacy and numeracy. There be meeting me so abo matimiaken kind or also meet me in the math. Yen library, yen be provide you with the materials, the content, so that they can be able to use to be able to do that. Inti yen role no we are doing it very well. Nancy I know ka say UNICEF class or yasene last year. My training for teachers and emphasis on teachers. So that they can be able to teach the phonetics. So the phonetics, no, yen tama yeko school ni enchire phonetics no. But you say nyamera ma jol phonics abagana. Inti sa phonetics training na eden kola no.
Some person mami who say we niya ma. So age no person mami or convince me say emro ko school say yeah ya phonetics you so say yeah niya na. We dey to so mathemagia to so we nya the mathematics.
And it me boa ma yetimi ye what we call the early grade teacher training interventions yetimi call around the country for teachers be in a certain district near boa with the school near more the materials normal to me aqua ahead normally actually your communities with sometimes our mobile vans and so on. Then we give the materials to the teachers. Into uko schools ni bi mukrana ya van the book box no Emma schools no ma chama because they understand their reading levels. So because you are training most teachers on how to conduct a literacy assessment, know the children's reading level and be able to make recommendation and the appropriate materials because akorebi or akofa book be manner ontimi nkan and you must be able to see say okay at this age some materials words we no betimi pronounce into who book ayaye ni na ye dia ma those are the interventions are here but the key aspect and say Stephen Krashen one researcher be he said enkura ubenyomo amoma build a lifestyle of reading also create that conducive memory also making materials and available na Ghana had ya yenye na me catch 1910 books and our shelves so and 2016 we baby na ati abedru you cannot blame enkwala no say omuntimi nkan because as a country then you are yet to be able to make sure say the materials is available for them and now, as a parent I didn't know me to TV no man to shelf no man ko to books bia me shelf e wo fie honum so that enkwala no grow me my child me last born here 3 years otimi for book ontimi nkan so the bro say read it to me. So it's because you've created the environment in the house that who book no pictures no attracted to the and there is research backing that. And to say we a parent who top flat screen kesi na kwa to shelf kakra no library who bet me borrow about 21 books. Now they accord their question ho now jamu sua na kakra na nkora no 21 days time no aba be sesam no was had another set call. It is the only way we can be able to address some of these systemic issues. Now, any members of parliament, district assemblies, is a building 2 libraries in your district or constituency any big deal. Now, you who say be able to see at least each constituency 275 constituencies. You know, be a C2. Honorable Napo. We see 2 libraries on the constituencies. Honorable Afenyomaken or about 11 or so libraries on the constituency. Honorable Asanso OC libraries on the constituency. MPs Bebre, Honorable Damboche, why library back on the constituency. MPs Bebre come together to establish libraries in their locations. Because these centers are really very important. A bit me am boama additional libraries in one. But the schools naba no ma be borrow books no dia come on no school because I know you bit me build it, that lifestyle of
as a customer no money public schools no to me think it home. Yeah, what about the private school? More plans to be any collaborations be so that the libraries can also get closer to the private school.
Oh yes, the private schools are major stakeholders. They really are huge beneficiaries of our. I mean, me strong can meet me. I say students in private schools you see a libraries more than students from public schools.
Okay. So going forward, yeah. This authority, I mean, if I say 3 years time here?
Well, in the next 3 years, say we are almost at the tail end of one cycle of our strategic plan, which is 5 years. You see, we are starting the development of another cycle of a strategic plan. Now, your focus more is on accessibility, because Juma say only a few are benefiting. We are only in 112 centers. I mean, 112 locations across the country. Look at the size of this country with 30 million people. United Arab Emirates have just around 10 million people. They have 200 libraries. Finland has almost 6 million people. They have 700 libraries. It will not just baby. They say you focus on say you bet me expanded. That's why I was advocating and pleading with metropolitan and district assemblies to say any more MPs so metimi ne ya adwuma yetimi aboa ne provide the technicals normal team dey omusika ne be SC library so communities, because it is the only way I betimi advance a lifelong learning culture in this country. Ne yetimi aboa ne create these intellectual safe havens in our various communities. And see, that's for the next cycle of the next 5 years, that is going to be one of the major ways that we will be focusing on. Another area, another area that we will also be working more on is also our digital platforms. As I catch you say, your platform, create Ghana Learning TV and Ghana Learning TV video tutorials. Now you show also GS Nescent Los Create, so video tutorials are available. Now we need a lot more content. Especially digital local content. Into the next 5 years, there's going to be a massive investment also in that area. Into what true book on a year ready, because what digital content, we are going to really make sure that they are available on our digital platforms and accessible for every Ghanaian wherever they are. New curriculum, new textbook, na hard copy. Unzo soft version of it to be able to have access. That cycle, the Library Authority will be leading that to make sure say your books now you use to your schools you bet me your digital versions of it on our platform. Make sure say Quran, because on some Quran be schools on some textbooks to school more then Quran course no obey access to another text. The parents need be after 2 textbooks or the back one school na back e wo fie nkura na ba omo but no app on as well send there no be na nkura na access to it. And those are the things that your person you invest you focusing on na ya strengthen your advocacy side, our public relations, and making sure that a lot more Ghanaians get to know about your jumano and your services opportunities collaborating more with different state actors. I'm library faso mo be antina be in case libraries there say how do we support the business community, how do we support young entrepreneurs, how do you support people that are coming out of school with additional skills that make them ready for the job market. You need UNICEF, any other international institutions, and so
So 5 years before and now, who share your reading habits, and I said the way you patronize a library. How will you rate? Because me the Americans say I base it on data available to me. As of 2016, the number of visits to our libraries was just around 300,000. As in annually?
Yes, annually.
Okay.
As of 2016, now around 300,000. But see, 1.4 million is what we are recording.
I'm surprised.
So which means and you see, anything I now some because I bear for computer and internet, but people are online learning, but. You created a digital platform. I'm out for kusua deal. I'm out for access. Be crowd the extra classes with few mom because of the video tutorial. But still, we still recording the high patronage of visits at our various libraries. Because we say create a lot of awareness about the existence of library. Yeah, increasing your network from 61 to 112. So technically, we have a lot more presence. Yeah, increasing the books on the shelves. And it's no money in an abwa. I'm say people are getting to them. That's why they are using it. And to be to me, baby in cases say dear internet. And say penny because be name apa or say dear even internet. Who goes to the library to read? Me the video in the bachelor. Ne error but say Finland. When internet penetration is over 95%, but or more libraries be breeze. I'm a library every 3 kilometer radius. You will find a library. Dear Dubai, and saying, who social media say, or create future library of the future. Yeah, will be a Sunday. No, me will be no Sunday because me also be a library with Morgan. And so almost look at the advancement, 99% internet penetration, and so almost see libraries. Dear we need to create a new level of consciousness and awareness about public libraries and how the public library network can be leveraged on to deliver other government services. And me jidi say yes
boy. Where the nan can count my main fan and me were 2 questions and then count with the permission of my producer. Maybe so first, I mean, only education for your Ministry of Education, so now we can more remote areas say with your library van there. How do you see our education system now? Devoid of your political affiliation.
Say no. Tama yen ko school no. Na ye ni computer, ni ni internet. Say nyamiada Roma schools bebre nya Wi-Fi. Me kai tama na me ko Peters Educational Center e okwada so. Ho na me ko na me e border. Na those days ni ye be ICT a ye de free kwada so kwa because ni your campus ba ko e wo honom. And so say akra be phone no information. In terms of leveraging on technology, our schools have done well. There's still more room for improvement. We developing the policy around device policy, and access to use of technology devices in schools. On that level, there's a lot of advancement that has been done on that area. And Kora Abasi say omo smart, and I was surprised. Me kwa Chimota school na saying. Na enkorane read omu reading no because secondary school no na ye kwatena library ho no ma ye di notes na kwatena ho kokenkan but say enkorane reading my books so or like the demand for reading materials no is so huge. Also those days I don't know how you were using, like by the time when we were starting to read the Adventures of Tintin, those French comic series be say when him and cranny read the Diaries of the Wimpy Kid and Funny's Diaries and those books and the demand for it, and you only the space you may feel say people are not really reading, people are not really engaging with resources, but enkwala you read papa and almost saying another opportunity. People are leveraging on YouTube to learn. And it is something that unfortunately you say craft book can yes but the kind of things the children are learning on YouTube, it's amazing. And Kolabi crowd among Kwabrochida and so Ghana and Koran Kasat Sabrofo, all because they've been able to pick some of these learnings from some of these technology into my discount those influences and how we are young people of today and their children are leveraging on these platforms to be able to advance learning at their various homes. And media to me, from where I sit, I see say yadi. And if you say why heard the new educational curriculum now, only a or pass it through this curriculum and interact and see their level of thinking and reasoning. Your friend project work. What's your university?
Yes. We said the changes of the curriculum so hard dream. Can't we hard dream?
Country be every 5 years also change your curriculum. Because the speed at which things are going, if you don't change curriculum, catch it.
You have to change the materials in your ready.
And no was your address. So those are the challenges we need to make sure say we change, now we're making sure say materials now are available, now deployed through platforms, because they say social media will be our your friends and social media. So it's use those means to be able to make sure say content. So books you need to me invest scan to digital content na dey fan to internet to know bia nko be.
Right. Free SHS. Do we need to be reviewed?
Oh no. Okay. Free SHS me danyankopon asechre say me call secondary school no me nya ban scholarship and am the call secondary school exams no me yade ma me pass ye it me one ye throw me letter say government of Ghana ma me scholarship because me na me di first of a term school mo ho em say ye call form 1 it me nya scholarship na me nya scholarship no now amanfo tua school fees near pamo amanfo free school ba me no yesa de me pocket money mamia na ma say nya sika but on scholarship ne buy no na ma call form 2 ansa na scholarship nti me form 1 school fees no mo refund ma me wie school no mo de ma me wie school na me diko tua me computer classes ewa IPMC ewa asokwa na me diko tua classes fee na me de year information technology course ho enti me de enyam free education me de menya ho faso but adentina merit is obi nso nya ho faso
mo betimi etua na de ten mo betimi yenti mo ntua na wono
na me aban ma me scholarship no obebusa me say me ma betimi etua na papa betimi etua ya ma nipa bebre koko ye ko school nipa bebre nya CMB koko ball scholarship no omo nyina no parents betimi etua no ntumi ntua enti it is not about so betimi etua na ntumi ntua ye nyina ye tua taxes ukọ kwa bontisisi ana to bibia bonso mbe to tax ko restaurant ube tua tax enti abai se minimum tax ni bi ebe bo amama ye nyina 1.23 million enkwara bitimi akọ school free. Why do you force yourself to say on say asetna pa ema yetimi ma ye bubende say asetna pa ma erefie kire say ne yenu bia betena nkran ye tetekam ye tete office the condition ti ya ne erefie say
so on say ye free din na bia akade say omunya ema free no edimu no eni ho itaketimi tua kakra bi to support ya ne nya akade ni nyina wo ho
cho northern scholarship no ya na northern Ghana na more north no more benefit from it, when they can be say young come on school fees because they were having challenges. When the classes that time need any challenges, didn't we have headmasters those days? No one declare strikes or more because striking. Why they work Ghana? How come for news article because they have northern scholarship more. Now we a matter of simple issues naba. Young mom pioneer advocate say about be address those challenges instead of say you be make a blanket statement to say young cancel a certain interventions are you name say benefit me nua ketwa e benefit me offer as a benefit that and me offer as if one benefit grade bebre
tama obotomajo
some parents beat me atua but at least no anka mbe ba be how kakra but say no say relieve ni nyina o ha say no me metimi dia kope one bag bi na eja say one room bi na me pese metimi eden e di esi ni nyina boa e ma me so say me financial muscles betimi akoso because metimi reserve
so the senate na enkoso sa
said the eternal name because now one of the things about free SHS among for him my means opportunity under free SHS government has aboama senior high school libraries across the country yetimi resource warm enti enye free SHS anka secondary school libraries can okrepa ko secondary school na library to say na enye because that time no na ye library fees ni free parents no ye mfa nkoto books ngo library so ye mfa nye any intervention since am no ka say ya renovate some senior high school library ntimi wie ni nyina because the budget annually no sheda nkwa ni mo ka so but at least there's been some interventions. Librarians was senior high school or manage school libraries across the country now. Ghana Library training or munina. They produce a manual on managing school libraries. And do here, Ghana Library website out. Bit me download the digital version of sa book now make a library on manage a manual on managing school libraries. I developer they are more manage the libraries to be able to provide better information services for students. And if free SHS and KNT yes our intervention way your department be higher till 1970. A friend schools and college library department. You buy an egu aban oye research bi say dey na Ghana for yempa akenkan those days the British Council the Ministry of Education as I in Ghana for no so mo school libraries no it is not well equipped and yet conducive or many resources and a T department wa has omonhwe no montimi and provided that support for schools across the country and nyame adarma His Excellency the President Basi Suano introduced free SHS no and Okasa resurrected that unit to be able to play that role and support senior high schools in the country. Since senior high school libraries be dry oko Kimbu heya upa okwa fa ho na ko Kimbu almost ya resource on libraries am be oko YouTube abehu videos of various secondary schools Sohum secondary schools secondary schools be bre Navrongo secondary school omo libraries ya na ama omo
Mr. Hayford ufe asukwa
Debbie me asantini
we asantini na Hayford ne
ese Hayford de Bruni din na Ghana so de eden anka Ghana ni de eden na ni Hayford
na ka asantini de
Debbie Hayford de Bruni din
kwabna sian bia
aha mom de also your magic mom because your friend kwabna but
any political ambition
oh
just asking Ebia ufi asante constituency be na ufi na me say bia ufi constituency be
me maternal side the Fresiufu a Barakese me paternal free Ankase Mpobi
okay
Enti by me dem to about one son do agi
out about adentia o na wote ana
you know I have done a lot of projects there during my NGO days you know
enti o na wote enti any political ambition
we are the untimi nka say never but for now no my concentration is His Excellency the President I can go say me libraries or Ghana so na me mo am nkola ready nti me focus
but you can never say never
never the untimi nka
2024 me ba na me bala me no be kita na ka say nice member of parliament or baby na ma refer to this thing I was for how they do be see the hot seat to me me da say say oje brena o share the hot seat yenda aboafo nyina so ase me da team no ase Mr me producer papa and na o ma me juice me sure say me pon obepa juice bi e dia ma me Mr. Samimreku thank you Mr. AB your production lead and na Mr. Watche e papa ba kwa de bia o kai ho na ye de ne ba o no make sure say light be to me su ye nti hu TV ni so a na ma ye shepe nti me reality aka na me hu TV do yes sa na tell me sa Watche na ma me look shepe sa we do wu nyina say number na e betwa ma me nda eye Mr. Hayford Sian or ye Chief Executive Officer na CEO Edema Ghana Library Authority ono na enya akwan ne no ebedi kita ho a we bie ye ni afa omudwuma omudi ewo eye authority hase ma me da ni team no ase omo ye very receptive ye ba no omo sere kama kama me da na umunemu na me ka wo esa me ba umunemu na me ba ye ba omo sere kama omo we kama ye fine I hope say me kwa omo ma ye juice papa na me timi anom na next week nso ye say ye share me didi akosia asabia asmeni bye bye.